As I stand here in this soil in Haiti, I know that this job you are going to overcome. I know you are going to succeed.
President William Ruto went to Haiti and he met with Edgar LeBlanc, that is the head of Haiti's Presidential Transitional Council, as well as he also met with 400 police officers, the Kenyan police officers, part of the Multinational Security Support Organization, MSS forces that are in Haiti. Well, a lot could be drawn from the meeting that the president had in Haiti. And he specifically spoke about different things, the support that he's going to rally for the Kenyan forces, as well as he also touched on something to do with the Haitian notorious gang leader Barbecue.
Na pongezi, nimeshaambiwa na Otunge ya kwamba pale Delmas ndio ngome ya ule bwana anaitwa Barbecue. Na nasikia mumeivamia mpaka huyo jamaa amesema sasa anataka kuwa mhubiri.
Well, first, the president had a meeting with the Haitian Presidential Transitional Council leader, Edgar LeBlanc. And in that meeting, the president was simply going to discuss the future of the MSS forces and the progress of the MSS forces currently in Haiti. We understand that the MSS forces are not working alone. They are working in partnership or in close partnership with the Haitian National Police. That means that it is a collaborative effort between the MSS forces, that is the international community forces, with the local police officers, that is the Haitian National Police, in ensuring that these gang areas are liberated and they are pacified. This is the reason as to why the president had to meet with the head of the Presidential Transitional Council, Edgar LeBlanc, in Haiti on Saturday. Well, the president took much of his time also to meet with the Kenyan forces. These are part of his troops, and it was his duty to meet with them as he was heading for the 79th UN General Assembly. Well, the president discussed a variety of issues and even gave a chance for some of the members of the police forces that are there to give their own views about how they are faring on and the challenges that they are meeting. And these are the challenges that we're going to discuss. One, someone mentioned that there is a lack of equipment, and that is a challenge that has been discussed quite frankly in different discussions about Haiti, because the MSS forces, as the president put it, expected to find some of the equipment in Haiti as they left Kenya, but to their surprise, they didn't find this equipment. And some of this equipment are very, very important to ensure that they are succeeding in their mandate or in their mission. Some of this equipment include helicopters, night vision goggles, drones, and more reliable armed vehicles. We know that they needed armed vehicles that could have turrets at the top so that they can fire back at their enemies. They also needed night goggles so that they can work effectively at night. They don't have this. They don't have any air support. They need drones, they need helicopters so that they can be able to coordinate the attack well. So these are very critical equipment that the Kenyan forces lack in Haiti. This also was mentioned by the UN officer that was there on Friday, saying that the Kenyan forces are doing all they can. They're doing all they can in the best way, but what they miss are equipment. Well, another issue that was mentioned by an officer who was given a chance to present their views was an issue to do with compensation. Well, this is also an issue that has hit headlines, that the forces, the officers that are deployed in Haiti lack the compensation needed or promised to carry on their duties and to motivate them as well. So the president was first to answer that and say that they are working on it, and that his sole purpose also of going to the UNGA is to make sure that he rallies support from other countries, because the president Ruto is now at the UNGA, meeting other world leaders, meeting with also critical stakeholders in the United Nations General Assembly to ensure that the forces in Haiti, because Kenya has the bulk of the number of forces in Haiti, to ensure that they have sufficient supplies, to ensure that they are compensated as well as promised, because the US was supposed to give financial support to the tune of $300 million. We know Canada was also supposed to give financial support, and these two countries have not yet achieved the threshold in terms of support to the MSS forces. Other nations as well were supposed to contribute in terms of boots on the ground, that is, police officers to be donated to Haiti, but only Jamaica and two Belize officers have been deployed to Haiti. So still there has been a lack of international community support to Haiti. And we saw this last year when the Prime Minister then, Ariel Henry, went to the UNSC and tried to ask for support from countries to go and help Haiti. And no country was coming forward to support the Haitians at their time of need. And this is also starting to be seen with the commitment that these countries are giving towards the nation of Haiti. Kenya has contributed 400, and by the way, the president said that Kenya is ready to contribute 1,000 police officers. He specifically said that 300 police officers from Kenya will be deployed in October, and another 300 will be deployed in November. So that means that Kenya is ready to submit the entire batch of police officers as promised, 1,000 troops in Haiti. And these remaining 600 troops that are here in Kenya are undergoing training in terms of language, because that is also something that a lot of analysts have been discussing and saying that Kenyans will not be able to work well in a country where they cannot effectively hear what they're saying or understand what they're saying. So Kenyans are undergoing these trainings, including, apart from tactical training and urban warfare, they are also undergoing the languages training to understand basic Creole, basic French, so that they can communicate well with the locals in Haiti. President Ruto was also very enthusiastic to speak to the 400 Kenyans that are in Haiti. And he specifically mentioned that when this mission was starting, a lot of people were skeptic.
Mnajua hii mission yenu kule nyumbani watu walikuwa na taswishi sana. Walikuwa na wasiwasi sana.
And if at all the Kenyan police officers will deploy well and start the operations well, because many nations really did not want to go to Haiti to help the situation in Haiti, as it was seen at the UNSC. So the president was proud of the Kenyan officers that deployed in Haiti, and said that they are representing not only Kenya, but they are representing the entire humanity in coming to save the situation in Haiti and ensure that all Haitians have the liberty and the freedom to do whatever they want as per the Constitution of Haiti, and to be proud of their nation. Well, one of the police officers that was given a chance to speak gave a view of the situation in Haiti and said that he has been scouring the internet all through, and no particular mission sent to Haiti was able to infiltrate Delmas and liberate Delmas. It is only the Kenyan forces that have been able to liberate Delmas. It is only the Kenyan forces that have dared to go to Delmas and fight the gangs in Delmas. So he was proud of the work that his colleagues and him are doing, and say that with a little additional equipment, the work that they came to do in Haiti will be done successfully, and Haiti, the entire region, or the entire nation of Haiti, will be pacified under the Kenyan forces. Well, this is also coming at a time when we know that 80% of Port-au-Prince is still under gang control. Well, and the UN officer William O'Neill that was there and gave his statement, saying that there is some intensification of gang violence in Haiti, even as the MSS forces are there, and clearly stipulated that many Haitian nationals are saying that they are not seeing the Kenyan forces in their towns or in their neighborhoods keeping law and order. So it is coming at a time when a lot needs to be done for Haiti, and the lack of equipment is making the progress to be very, very slow. And the situation in Haiti really needs a fast reaction from the forces, fast reaction from the international community. We understand that the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken was in Haiti and specifically stated that he is going to rally support at the UNGA to make sure that the forces in Haiti are getting the equipment they need so that they can pacify the entire country as soon as possible because of the situation that is ongoing in Haiti. Well, finally, the president also commented about the Delmas situation and the fact that the police officers went into a region that barbecue operates in.
Na pongezi, nimeshaambiwa na Otunge ya kwamba pale Delmas ndio ngome ya ule bwana anaitwa Babeke, na nasikia mumeipamia mpaka huyo jamaa amesema sasa anataka kuwa mhubiri.
He said that the assault that the Kenyan forces have made in Delmas, and specifically Delmas 6, where barbecue comes from, has made him more or less to become only a preacher and not anything more. And this, the Kenyan president, gave in a low tone warning to the Haitian gang leader that Kenyan forces are ready to fight whenever, and their mandate is to liberate Haitian nationals from the shackles of the gangs and to make sure that every Haitian has the freedom to do whatever they want as per the constitution. Well, we'll be now focusing on the United Nations General Assembly, the 79th UNGA Assembly at New York, at the statements that different presidents will make regarding what is happening in Haiti. We'll also be having a closer look at what the Prime Minister Gary O'Neill at the UNGA will be saying, and the fact that it will be possible for the Kenyan president to meet with the Prime Minister Gary O'Neill while in New York for the UNGA, because currently the Prime Minister was not in Haiti as the Kenyan president went to visit. He had already left for New York. We'll be keeping close tabs to understand what will be happening at the UNGA, specifically the statements of the US President Joe Biden, the statements that will be made by Kenyan President, that is President Ruto, statement that will be made possibly by the Kenyan Foreign Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, as well as other actors that will be concerned, Antony Blinken involved with what is happening in Haiti, and the fact that Haiti is at crossroads. The mission in Haiti is at crossroads, whether it should continue as an MSS, a UN-backed mission, or a fully UN mission. You know that transition from a UN-backed mission to a UN mission has been proposed by different quarters, that the funding and the supplies needed will need a UN resolution so that there can be a UN mission. And we know that a UN mission in Haiti is not popular. So we'll be having our ears open to hear what will happen at the UNGA, and we'll be here to discuss if anything arises from the discussions of world leaders at the United Nations General Assembly in New York regarding Haiti.